Hi everyone, this is for Taurus for the month of July 2020. And the first card I drew, well, the only card I drew for the month of July is balance. And pretty much balance is self-explanatory. You need to find peace with your inner life. Everything that's happening on, your outside world is because of your inside world. If you're good inside, then your outside world is going to be good. But if you're bad, then, your inside world is not doing the greatest. You know, in all of this, you do need to be honest with your choices, because in the end, your choices are going to dictate your tomorrow. So, from here on out, you have to be responsible for the choices that you make. You have no choice. So, but that's the balance card. Now, for the astrology for the week of 6/29 through 7/5, okay, that first week in July. In June, and I'm talking about this only because the end of the month is going to pertain to the beginning of the month. We have Pluto in Capricorn in your ninth house, conjunct Jupiter in Capricorn in your third house. So basically, right now you're speaking about your philosophies, Taurus. Your higher mind, you're using it. And you're using that in the communication field somewhere, whether it be communications with your cousins, siblings, those people that you're close to in life. And, know that by using, your higher mind, or you might even travel to go see these people. But anyway, Taurus, then we have Uranus in Uranus and Taurus in the first house, sextiling the sun in Cancer in the third house. And basically what that is, your ego, the way you communicate is going through a lot of changes. And, and that's because you're changing. Your very core of who you are is changing. You've got Uranus in your first house. So, everything about you right now is changing. And that's okay. And, your philosophies are going to be up there with that change right now. And the communication, and how you communicate. But come July 1st now, you've got Saturn in Capricorn in your ninth house. And he's retrograde back from Aquarius. And he's going to finish up with Capricorn. So he wants to know if you've learned your lessons in ninth house matters, your philosophies, your higher mind, things of that nature. And of course, the ninth house also stands for radio, broadcasting, higher education, things of that nature also. So, you're finishing up a whole bunch of things that have to do with these areas in your life. But, you're going to see now if you've learned your lesson. And if you have, you're going to get a great big gift. And the next one aspect we have is on the 4th or the 5th, depending where you're at on the globe. And that's the lunar eclipse in Capricorn with the moon in the ninth house. And it opposes, Cancer sun in your third house. So your ego's very tied into communicating, and it has to do with your philosophies, you know, on the radio, you're broadcasting who you are in some way, and you're communicating this. And of course, the lunar eclipse is an ending. So it is bringing some type of change in that area, but it's okay because, you know, changes help to make us grow. Then on the week of July 6th to July 12th, the first aspect that we have is we've got Mercury in Cancer in the third house, square, you know, Mars in Aquarius in the 12th house. I think that, yeah, in the 12th house. And basically, what that's saying is that, you know, with Mercury in Cancer, you're going to be emotional with, you know, how you communicate your thoughts and all of that. And especially it being the third house for you, the house of communication. Well, you've got Mars in Aquarius in the 12th house. That's your inner thoughts, your inner feelings. And, you know, you want to communicate these, but you're having a hard time. You're going through all of it in your head, but you just don't know how to get it out there. You know, the aggressiveness of your own mind is taking over. Now on the 12th, after that happens, we have got Mercury direct in the third house in Cancer for you. And pretty much, again, Cancer's emotional, and it's direct in our third house. So you're finally going to be able to start communicating again in a way that people will understand you emotionally. You know, because they don't understand what you're saying. They're never going to understand you emotionally. So you're going to start to get that back on track. And on the 12th, you've got the Sun in Cancer in the third house, trine Neptune in Pisces in the 11th house. Well, that Sun, you know, is in your third house of communications again. Seeing a real theme this month for you in the third house. And that's pretty much, you know, you're healing over the way that you have communicated with people. You know, so, and you're looking, it's trining, you know, Neptune in Pisces in that 11th house. So you're communicating with your friends at an emotional level. You're accomplishing your dreams. You know, it's just a good day for you. Everybody seems to understand everybody, and they're on the same page. And that's always a good way to end a week. Then on the 13th through the 19th, okay, of July, you have two aspects that we're talking about here. We've got the Sun in Cancer in third, opposing Jupiter in Capricorn in the 9th. And that's pretty much, you know, again, your emotions are involved with your communication and how you're putting yourself out there. And your higher philosophies are expanding, and you're communicating this more to people. Then on the 15th, you've got the Sun in Cancer in the third house, opposing Pluto in Capricorn in the 9th house. And pretty much that is saying, again, third house, Sun being your ego, how you communicate, You're highly invested in this. Your ego's involved. And it's opposing Pluto in the ninth house. And it's philosophies that have to be taken away because they're no longer serving your highest good. Whether, and again, ninth house could be radio, school, higher learning, higher education, radio, broadcasting, all these different industries also fall under the ninth house. And, that has to change in some way. Everything, all these layers have to be stripped off. And, we all have to be able to communicate and be on the same page. Then the following week, we have got on the 20th, the Sun in Cancer in the third, opposed Saturn in Capricorn in the ninth house. And again, there's some type of extreme going on here. You are communicating here, like in one way, and the structures have a different philosophy than you do, and you've got to come together on this philosophy. You've got to come together as one, and because it's all about the higher mind. So you've got to do what's right for everyone here in these different categories of education, higher philosophies, radio, broadcasting, all of these areas. You have to communicate in a way that everybody's going to get what they want, because right now a lot of communications are going to extremes in these areas. And then on the Sun, on the 22nd, the Sun moves into Leo in the fourth. And that just tells me, with the people that you hold close to your heart, the ones that make you feel secure, the ones that make you feel like family, you're going to be having a more lighthearted time with them. There's going to be a lot more laughter there. There's going to be a lot more just playfulness, having a good time and being happy. And then on the 22nd, you've got Mercury in Cancer in the third house, sextiling Uranus in in Taurus. And, Taurus is your first house. Again, you're going through a lot of changes. And one of the things you're learning how to change is your communications with your emotions. You're learning not to be so emotional when you communicate with others, and that is a big change that you have to learn, to get to the next step. Now, the 27th, which is at the end of the month and our last week of July, right before we go in to August, on the 27th, we have Jupiter in Capricorn in your ninth house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in your 11th house. And that's saying your group of friendships, the groups you belong to, your dreams, okay, your hopes, your wishes, they're going to be expanded in that ninth house again of your philosophies and, religion and, the education and radio and broadcasting. All these areas here are all going to be, where your hopes are going to lie, where your dreams are. And you want to get all the illusions out of there in that group, so everything can run and get back to the way that it was. And on the 27th, you're going to have Venus in Gemini in your second house of ethics, morals, your finances, pretty much how you run things for you. Square Neptune in Pisces in that 11th house. You are definitely going to be going against what the group wants, because this are your ethics. These are your morals, and you have to control your finances in a way that is, in line with your ethics and morals. And that's the direction that you're going. And I mean, pretty much if I had to summarize this month for you, you're going to be healing a lot of issues within you, in your psyche. And, and because of that, it's changing who you are as a person, and, what you want to be known for in those ninth house matters. You want to use your communication skills in a way that promotes who you are as a being. So anyway, y'all, I love you. Have a great July, and I hope this helps, and these videos will get better. It's just my first month, my first try, so we'll see how that goes. Have a great one. Bye-bye.